Hi, this is Yang Wang. You guys can call me Philip, the team leader of Yoyofriends. Long time no see, and today we're going to have an overview on the Yoyofriends da Vinci, the signature of our Japanese manager and player Tomoki Toyama. And yeah, so Yoyofriends, manufacture and players like me, Tomoki, and lots of other players. We got 12 players now, so a lot of players all over the world now combined together to make great yo-yos and to support the players and also the community. We are a sponsor of U.S. National Contest and all its regionals. I am going to U.S. Nat, so see you guys there if you're going as well. Okay, so first look at this yo-yo. Actually, I'm going to go through a little bit of history. So Tomoki, he really loved the Phycent bimetal, if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so Phycent bimetal. This is his favorite yo-yo, right? He kind of helped develop it along with the Japanese players with their input. So he kind of wants like the power of this and the playability of this and just the way how it moves and the power etc. of this yo-yo into his own signature based on this. So right, but he himself is not a big guy, so his hands are not like the biggest. So he wants to go a little bit more narrower and then more tech I would say, so you can go through his hand like when he's doing chopsticks or when he's doing his tricks. It's comfortable for him to use. So yeah, the yo like itself is not super big. So compared to the Phycent bimetal, you can see it's narrower and also yeah, so it's less, so it's more tech oriented. You can go through a little bit of thinner gaps and stuff doing tricks. So that's pretty cool. And the first prototype, he kind of, and I discussed it, and then we made this. So the rims are kind of rounded. Gives that, I don't know, I'm not like an expert on rounded rings, but the rings are rounded up here, give it a nice look. Bunch of cuts here, and this is the center. So this is basically like a classic kind of a organic and not organic, but like kind of an inverse H shape. But it's a lot more complicated. It kind of reminds me of a TP, and the weight is pretty heavy. So the problem with Yoyos is the power is good, the stability is excellent, but it doesn't quite move as well as the Phycent. The weight is too high, the design is too complicated. It plays like a TP yo. Not that that is bad, but for your friends, our focus is on more speedy and acceleration kind of thing. So, and that's what Tomoki wants, because he is kind of a fast player. I won't say he's a pure speed player, but he is pretty fast in his pacing and all his tricks. So this is prototype 2. We simplify the design on this inverted H shape. This ring, we add more ring weight. We lower the overall weight by a lot, and the rounded rims are now just straight up here, so it gives them more ring weight. Kind of wing shaped rings on here. Massive SS ring. It's super thick. It's even thicker than the bimetal Phycent. Look how much thicker it is. So this is absolutely ridiculous weight distribution. Even more ridiculous than the Phycent bimetal, which is completely crazy. We're cramming as much weight as possible on the outside on this yo-yo while being super light. Okay, so first out of this yo-yo, the highlight is inverse H shape. The gap width, when the string catch zone isn't that super big, because like I said, it's more tech, and then he don't want the yo to be too big because his hands is not super big. He wants to do chopsticks and stuff, and also want to get in through his strings and just fit better in his hand. And also the weight is 62.6 grams, so it's very light, even lighter than the Phycent bimetal, but massive SS rings. Look how big it is. It's absolutely baffling. I think this is the biggest SS rings we've ever had. I'm pretty sure it is. So insane how wide these rings are, and you can actually feel that when you play. So the spec, I'll have the full spec of this yo-yo here. Okay, so smoothness is 10 out of 10. This is prototype 2, but we didn't change anything for production, so it's the same thing. Power, it's pretty good. I would say it matches the Peregrine, and also the Phycent bimetal actually. Even though it's lighter and narrower, but the rings are just too big. So even though this is lighter than what Tomoki initially wanted, he wanted his yo-yo to be around 64 grams bimetal, somewhere like that. but the weight distribution on this is so insane that we decided not to just add any more weight. This yo-yo, it's super powerful as is. It's not like the most powerful like nucleon and stuff, but it will match, you know, the hummingbirds, the tachyon, and also the peregrines of our lineup, because how massive the ring is. That is that. Stability is super stable. This yo-yo is not big, but all the rim weight is like on the outside. Just pure SS, and 7068 is super light in the middle as well. So this thing can go on forever. In terms of stability. So one thing I want to highlight on this yo-yo, I would say, is control. I would say this is the most controllable Yoyofriends yo-yo there is, and very techy. This yo-yo kind of moves in a way that it just goes through strings very, very nicely. And you just have absolute like 100% control of this yo-yo at all time. I would say why is because this yo-yo is not like super wide. It's just a very, you know, I would say tamed size against like all the modern super meta yo-yos that is like super wide with huge catch zones. Yeah, and the massive ring weight is just, it actually looks kind of insane, like looking at it. Like the ring is so big, like it looks ridiculous in a good way. So that's nice. Acceleration, like I said, the weight is only 62.6 grams. So it's very, very good on the acceleration. You can accelerate super, super fast. Like I said, Tomoki is not like the fastest player, but his pacing, etc., is very, very fast. When he's decided to, you know, bring up the speed. I'm very rusty, as you can see. I've been playing too much table tennis and not enough yo-yos. But this yo-yo accelerates very well. I would say accelerate around a peregrine, slightly faster maybe. Like I said, this is not a pure V shape. This is more of inverse H. So H shape are not like as fast as V shape, but like I said, the weight is so low that it kind of matches like the peregrine, and I would say a tier below the tachyon and the hummingbird, but I would say around the same speed wise as bimetal pheasant, and also like I said, peregrine, and also I think, yeah, and it's also a tier faster than the tachyon, so it's around like the second level tier of speed, faster than the vulture. Yeah. So it's in like the middle area. I would say pretty fast. Like it's not gonna teleport across, you know, space and time like tachyon and hummingbird, but it's just under there. So that's very nice. Top speed on this yo-yo is very good as well. Yeah, this yo-yo, like I said, is so much control. I would say the best thing about this yo-yo is consistency at a high speed. I think it's because of it's not super wide and most of it's ring weight, so you can be very consistent at a sustained top speed. That's why I think this is very good. So I like it. Same thing, a tier below hummingbird and tachyon, and a tier like the same tier as the pheasant bimetal, and the peregrine is a tier above vulture and the graviton in terms of top speed. Flow on this yo-yo, it's not too much. You can just feel ring weight, but you can't really feel it too much, ring weight, because the yo-yo is light. So, and also it's not like a complete H shape. It's more defined inverse H. So still got that slight feeling to it, flow wise. But mostly you just feel this yo-yo being fast and just pure speed and stability and controllability. So not super much flow. Float on this yo-yo, not too much. Like I said, like the ring weight is a lot, and yeah, it's mostly ring weight. So not much quirky accelerations going on. You know, inverse H shape might help it, like against a V shape, but when you have rings this big, it kind of just overrides it. So that's that. Horizontal on this yo-yo, it's excellent. Tomoki, you know, he has his horizontal tricks. Once again, I'm rusty, so hopefully I can land it. I need to play more yo-yo. Honestly, I've been playing too much table tennis. It's taken over my life, basically. Yeah, but horizontal, so it's very good. You got the speed, acceleration, and the power. It's a little bit narrower than I wanted, the catch zone, for me personally, but this is Tomoki's yo-yo. So horizontal is very great as well. Okay, so buying and strain recommendation. So the gap width on this Yoyo is 4.6 plus. So it's very big, right? So usually, like what I consider like a second gen Yoyofriends Yoyo, it's gonna have that like a response bump to prevent string snagging, so you can stack more strings, just prevent snagging and then help projection usually. But this Yoyo doesn't have it because the gap was 4.6. It's so big. So even I use Kitty string normal first class, and oh god, stuck on my glove, and it's a little bit slippy, not gonna lie. Usually my preferred gap width with a new Yoyofriends ping pad is now 4.46 to 4.5, but this is 4.6. So you can see I'm doing okay here, but you know it's not like the most reliable thing for me. Especially with a center track. If I use like a NSKDS, and yes, that's probably okay for me. But I recommend at least a Sochi Fat, Kitty Fat, and Kitty XL, Sochi XL. At least something fat to use this Yoyo to have that better bind. This still uses Yoyofriends ping pad, so it's very, very grippy when you actually activate the response system. But I don't recommend Kitty normal or Sochi normal, anything that is not at least like very thick. Tomoki himself uses, I think, Kitty XL or Sochi. I think Kitty XL. So yeah, that just kind of gives you an idea what kind of string this one takes. It's meant for in competition. He wants confidence. He don't want to use snagging back. He wants to stack a bunch of strings with Kitty XL onto this Yoyo, and that's what this Yoyo is built for. So yeah, so if you get this Yoyo, at least get a Kitty Fat or anything thicker, like Kitty XL, Sochi Fat preferred. Okay, so finger grind on this Yoyo. This is blasted 7068, no problem. Oh gosh. Okay, so this one, it's not B blasted. This is a prototype version. This is kind of more polished and shiny and stuff. I don't know if you can say it, but finger grind is fine on the production. I'm not too sure if there is. I think there's one that's like polished, kind of, but the polished one won't grind super well, and the B blasted will grind better. Like I said, this is not, the capsule is not particularly wide, so it's not meant for like, you know, let's say for example like a Magpie 2, where you can just close your eyes and this will land in your finger. But this one's not like that, so it's not like the best. Thumb grind, actually never tried it. Let's see. Okay, so you are touching SS ring. So you can do it if you have fingernails, if you use fingernails. If you're not using fingernails, it's not the best for that. Finger spin, I'm gonna stop here, even though I can do it on this with the glove. The official version, unless it's like the acid wash version, have a bunch of engravings in the middle, so it kind of renders the finger spin almost not doable. So that's his. That's what he wanted. It does look cool though, but finger spin is not recommended on this Yoyo. It's pure performance, you know, for contest kind of Yoyo, except the finger spin part. So concluding on this Yoyo, this is very cool. You know, I'm really interested to see a Yoyo dedicated to Tomoki and his idea. You know, this spec is, you know, suited his hand size, and that's very cool. And this is an inverse H kind of thing, and kind of a shape we never really explored, and just looking like how massive the ring weight is, I would say this is yet another manufacturing feat for our manufacturer and also Tomoki. And I'm really glad that he finally got his signature Yoyo and his fairy Yoyo and the Yoyo he'll be using for a while, or for the rest of his Yoyo career. Maybe he'll get more sticks, so we'll see. So very awesome Yoyo, very, very high in my ranking list. Personally, the only gripe I have is the gap is too big, but I use, like I said, Kitty first class normal. I use normal string. If you use fast string, I actually tested with fast string. It's pretty good, like using that. But yeah, I really like this except the gap width. But other than that, thank you all for watching, and see you guys next time.